Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And I'm still under the weather a little bit. I had to eventually go to the hospital on Friday. This is a Sunday. It's a Sunday night. On Friday afternoon, I went to the hospital and found out that I have a chest infection, which is kind of, I wouldn't say very severe, but yeah, I do have to have a heavy dose of medicine for 15 days. And then post that, I had to go back to see the doctor once again. And yeah, it sucks, but sometimes it happens. It's the monsoon, and I catch colds and I catch sinus problems pretty easily. So I'm still a little bit under the weather because of that, but on my way to full recovery. Anyhow, we are here to talk about Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, season 1, episode number 9. Yeah, number 9, the big 9. This is the penultimate episode. We just got one more episode left, and although I do like this episode quite a lot, I've got mixed feelings because we have our first big death. And what a bummer it is because, well, it's one of my favorite characters. In fact, had the potential to be my favorite character of the show. And I think a lot of people also do like this character and the actor as well. Plus, a lot of wonderful things about him, which we will talk a little later. But yes, this episode is called All Who Wander, and again, it's an episodic event. And to be honest, a lot of us were thinking that they might do episode 9 and 10 as a two-parter to end the season, but they didn't go that route. They decided to do it as just a standalone episode. So we have the Enterprise going to answer a distress signal from the USS Peregrine, which is a very similar sort of ship, but they call it a different class. It just happens to be a smaller size, or at least it's supposed to be a smaller size. On screen, it just looks pretty much the same. And they have a crew of only just 99 folks, 99 people rather. All right, so they also have to go, and the ship has crashed. It's called the USS Peregrine. It's crashed on a planet called um, Valio Beta 5, and the planet has got nitrate charged atmosphere, which makes communication very, very difficult. The Enterprise crew also was heading to, I think it's Starbase 7 or Starbase 9, where they were supposed to go for helping them recharge their environmental controls or something like that. I can't remember the exact thing. That's not what the episode is all about, but yeah, they were supposed to go there. A deep space station, yeah. Power cells. That's exactly what it is. So they have to go there because it's that deep space station is in danger of actually going out of complete power, and then that's going to be a big problem. So the Enterprise is on its way. So they decide Pike will take several of the crew, including many of the senior officers, Hemmer, Spock, La'an, and except for Ortegas and Captain and Number One, the rest of them do. Dr. Mbenga, Uhura, and even Sam Kirk. They all go to the planet to help out look out for the distress signal. The spaceship has crashed onto the planet, and it's a very icy place. So Hemmer even says like he's the only one who seems to enjoy the trek from where the two shuttles land to the crash ship, because it's very reminiscent of Andoria. I was going to say Andromeda, of Andoria, which is an icy planet, and he is a Anar, so he is definitely used to this kind of climate. Everybody else is struggling to go through, and they go through that and find out that the USS Peregrine had picked up three stranded survivors on another planet, and one was an Orion, one was a alien of unknown origins, and a human child, a young girl. Unfortunately, both the Orion as well as the unknown alien are infested with Gorn eggs. So, we come to learn that in Star Trek, the Gorn, which are kind of famous from TOS era, they kind of spit out a bile at you, and when it sticks onto you, it has the eggs, and the eggs hatch inside you and then burst out, kind of like aliens. In fact, the entire episode is kind of like a homage to, it's paying homage to Alien, and aliens, I guess, as well as Predator, as you will come to see in this particular show. So the crew are trying to find out what happened to the rest of the crew. There's bloodshed. There's a lot of limbs and bodies scattered here and there. And while they're at this, the Orion has already been killed. The unknown alien is trying to protect the girl, but soon he too succumbs to the eggs that come out, the gone eggs that come out of him, the gone baby hatchlings basically come out of him, and he dies, leaving only the girl. The girl isn't infected, and pretty soon it's a battle to try and find out, kill the gone babies, because once they grow up a little bit, they will start attacking each other in a show of to show who's the alpha male, and it will start killing the people as well. So Lan definitely is the one who's had her experience with the gone. So she says when they're at this particular stage, when they're this immature, they will start attacking each other, and then they will start going for anything else that lives nearby. So in the battle, she questions the young girl, because she has a feeling maybe the young girl was used as a pawn to get the infected people onto a Federation ship, but it isn't true. She's just an innocent passenger. But her line of questioning becomes a little too harsh, and Mbenga has to kind of like be the fatherly protective figure. He even calls her his daughter by mistake, because he is missing Rukina, as we see from the previous episode. So I think that was a little off-putting, to be honest. It's way too much on the nose. Ideally, if we have stopped with the particular story of Rukina altogether, they should have just moved on. Anyway, that's the kind of feeling we get. Alien versus Predator. With the baby hatchlings, they seem to have this kind of radar, almost like what the Predator has in the Predator movies. That kind of the way that it looks at it, and even the screen changes when they're looking at their prey, and they've got this odd little clicking sound that is very reminiscent of the Predator as well. So it's aliens versus Predator. It starts attacking. Unfortunately, Hammer is infected with the eggs. It spits out the bile. We really get to know a little later that that's how the eggs come onto you. He's trying to protect Uhura. Uhura, by the way, is a little annoying, and this is kind of like where the current shows are. I mean, not just Star Trek, but a lot of these shows are going with the young person. Uhura is not really sure where she stands. She doesn't know if she's got a place in Starfleet. Her tenure as a cadet on the ship is actually coming to an end. They show that in the beginning. She and there's another cadet. They both are celebrated by Captain Pike, and they're supposed to be going back and then continue on becoming officers in Starfleet. But Uhura, as we established before, she doesn't really know if this is what she wants to do with her life, and Hammer gives her a little bit of a prep talk. He is kind of like her mentor figure, and so he's also looking out for her. So when the gone hatchling spits out the bile at her, he pushes her out of the way and he gets infected. Laan decides that they're going to use the extreme cold will definitely kill them out. So they manage to get the last one into a trap and shoot it with a lot of cold blast of air that freezes it, and then Laan kills that baby gone. Or no longer baby. Unfortunately, Hammer is doomed. There's nothing that they can actually do to help him. So he decides to sacrifice himself, much to the sadness and shock of the others. They want him to try and do something, but it's inevitable that he is going to have those problems. And one more thing that we actually do establish, that gone babies, the eggs, they hatch in different species at different speeds. So they hatch in Orions pretty quickly. In humans, we're guessing roughly around the same time as well. But for the unknown alien, it took a very long time. So Hammer doesn't want to take that risk, so he decides, he goes off to the open section. I think it's the bulkhead is basically part of the cargo bay or something, and he goes there and he steps out of the shield section, and then he looks at the basically once he says his goodbyes, and everybody starts weeping and stuff. They're shocked at the fact that he's going to get killed. Well, we did have a couple of other crewmen also getting killed, but Hammer is Hammer, and he just feels just like Andore once more. The way that he says it, what? Oh, really good acting by Bruce Horvath, and he jumps to his death. Now we've been talking about Alien versus Predator. That particular scene kind of reminded me of Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator 2 going down in that molten steel and sacrificing himself. It's kind of like the way it's going. So Hammer as Terminator. All right. So the rest of the crew go back to the ship. They have a memorial for the people that died, but especially Hammer is talked about a lot. And Spock. Oh yeah, Spock had to use. Basically, when he's fighting with the gun, he brings out his anger, and he isn't, the mature Spock that we see in TOS, and is still 10 years away. 10 years away, I guess. And he hasn't had his Kolinar yet, so once he brings his anger out, there is a residual effect of it. So after the funeral, he kind of like leaves, and he's pretty very pissed off because he was kind of close with Hammer. I wish they'd actually shown some scenes where, and this is one problem with the show being just, so short, only 10 episodes. But they definitely do have a history of being close, and Nurse Chapel is like the friend who's kind of coming and comforting him. And Uhura, towards the end, I think Uhura decides to actually stay. They don't really say it, but from the looks of it, she is deciding to stay back. La'an, however, decides to takes permission from Pike for a leave of absence to go and find the young girl's family and try to reunite her with them. She takes it on as a personal mission. She who has had her problems with the Gorn and the trauma of being a survivor, so she kind of feels like she feels a little responsible and possibly also a little guilty for shouting at the girls. So she takes that on and decides that she's going to go off into it. So probably the final episode of the season, we're not going to see La'an, and we're definitely not going to see Hammer. So real big loss to the show. Hammer, we're going to miss you very, very badly. So short time. Bruce Horvath, amazing actor over here, because if you don't know, he's actually not a full-time actor. He's actually a painter. He's an artist as well as an actor, and he is legally blind. 90% of his sight is not there. So really wonderful little small clip so you can see of Bruce Horvath. In one where he gets a gift from a fan who gives him a 3D bust rendering of Hammer. It was amazing to see Nick, in such a short time, very few episodes we get to. A lot of fans I can see online as well are very, very close to Hammer. The gruff alien who's like who's a little bit of a genius in engineering, but internally he does have a heart of gold. So I really like this episode, although they have these flaws. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Pretty decent episode, I must say. So I'll give it an 8, not an 8.5, I guess. Bummer because Hammer died. So yeah, that's it for this particular episode. Just one more left, and after that, we don't know when the next season is going to come out. I hope actually that season also is only going to have 10 episodes, which is again a sad thing. I wish they had more episodes. Yeah, I'll talk about that some other time. It's already 14 minutes, so good night.